Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video and what has been a very tough 24 hours for Newcastle United, for Newcastle fans and for Sandro Tonali, following what was a tough defeat against Dortmund last night in the Champions League. I don't think it's stopped raining for the last 24 hours either. Well, it's got that little bit worse because as of this Thursday lunchtime on October 26th, Sandro Tonali has received a 10-month ban from football issued by the Italian FA. Details are now starting to come out on exactly what Tonali has been charged with to face this 10-month ban. It's understood that sports bets have been placed, including bets against his old side, AC Milan. Bad news. You guys let me know your thoughts on this one down below. Spending £55 million on a player who can't play from now until next season ain't great. I think Tonali showed some great promise for us to start this season off, and for this to all come out as bad news. We'll talk about a couple of the bads, and we'll try and come to a couple of not positives, but maybe better than what it could have been. I mean, there is still questions for me to be asked on what exactly did Tonali know that wasn't said, what could have AC Milan provided more information on, and what Newcastle have done their checks on. If I have to be honest, I think there's, if you want to play the blame game, I think there's blame to be passed around all three corners of that. Exactly what Newcastle do next and how Newcastle handle this, we will have to wait and see. When Tonali signed a contract to say, yes, I want that whole load of money every week, did he also sign a contract to say that I believe I have done no wrongdoing, I believe that I have done nothing to contradict this contract, I believe, you know? And I'm not saying that Newcastle are going to turn around and go, right, get it, go. We've spent 55 million on him, and at the end of the day, did AC Milan know, did AC Milan not know? I've got no idea. And maybe AC Milan didn't know. Yeah, you really don't know, but for Newcastle to prove that something wasn't said ahead of time is just not going to happen. And as for Sandro Tonali, yes, there may be a situation where because he's not playing, maybe wages could be lowered or something along those lines. But at the end of the day, we've spent 55 million on him. And Eddie Howe has been very forthcoming in saying that he supports them, the club supports them, and you can see that the fans are getting behind Sandro Tonali. On Saturday against Crystal Palace, you could see the tears in his eyes as he was clapped by the Newcastle fans, and some people have questioned that, you know, as to why Tonali was receiving applause from the fans. I think it was, you stand by your own, you know, and that's what I mean. I feel like I had to mention a couple of those points just a moment ago as to where is the blame and what has gone on here, but I do feel like you do need to step past these things, and I do think Newcastle will raise those questions. You know, it's a lot of money to not be doing anything, to not be looking into it at all, but at the same time, you know, on the face of it, you have to deal with it, and if you can sort something out in the background, great, but for the face of it, Newcastle need to support their man. They need to support the £55 million they've spent on this guy, and I think he will be a very good player for Newcastle. You know, I think you could see the tears in his eyes. You could see that he knew. I think he knew he'd done wrong, and I'd said this already. I think it was a good thing that Tonali played against Crystal Palace. He did come on against Dortmund last night as well, but it meant that he wasn't hiding. I think it would have been worse if Tonali hadn't have featured, I guess, walked backwards into the shadows and then was never seen again for 10 months. I think it was a good thing that Tonali came out. I think it was good for him to show his face. I think it was good for the fans to be kept on side a little bit. As I say, I think if Tonali just vanished into the shadows, it would have been like, right, well, Tonali's done all this betting stuff and now he's just gone and we don't see him anymore. I think because he came out, because he faced the fans, I think that helps give the fans that little bit of, like, get that little bit more from him before he goes. It shows that he does care and he does want to play and he does want to go out there and run his socks off. So I think that was good for the fans. I think it was good for Tonali because he's now going to just go into quiet for 10 months, really, and to know that the fans have given them his support before he left, you know, I think was a good thing. And positives, there isn't a lot of positive to go off here, but you know me, I'll always try my best to find the the best of something. So I will give you a couple of things that have come out from this. One of which is that it is a 10-month ban. You know, it ain't 3 year, because that's what something that was previously discussed. 10-month ban. You know, he's out for the season and he comes back at the start of next season, or the start of next season-ish. People are saying it's like having an ACL injury. He's had a big injury, he's gone out, and he will be back. It's not a case where we will be gone for 3 years. In 10 months' time, where can Eddie Howe have him? Because Keith Downey is actually reporting that he believes that Sandro Tonali will still be able to train with the side despite having this ban. We've obviously seen bans in the past where it's absolutely nothing from football. Question marks here on if Tonali's able to continue training for 10 months. If Tonali can go and play with the under 21s in matches. Can Tonali play in friendly games behind closed doors as well? You know, these are all things that, yes, having him unavailable from a starting lineup where Newcastle really need the depth. Barnes is out. Murphy's out from last night. Isak's got a recurring injury. Willock's just coming back. Callum Wilson, I think, struggles to play full games at the moment. You know, we need all hands on deck, and not having a Tonali is going to hurt us. But at the very least, we know what Eddie Howe's like in making players better. If Tonali has 10 months, if Eddie Howe has 10 months with Sandro Tonali behind the scenes, I mean, that is still a positive that he is able to continue working with the side. Keith Downey's also said that this will include a promise to take part in an 8-month rehab and recovery activity. Now, there's a bit of a question mark around that, because is that 8 months where he goes there for 1 or 2 days a week? Or is that 8 months where he's now over in recovery/rehab in Italy? Because it's good that he can train for 10 months, but if 8 of those months he's not even in the squad, then I'm not really sure. I presume it'll be a Thursday or a Friday or on a weekend, or so he will be able to continue training. He will be with Eddie Howe, and look, hopefully, you know, again, trying to find some good in this. Hopefully he has 10 months of great behind the scenes training with the side, and then comes back at the start of next season bigger, better, stronger, ready for the Premier League. But yeah, it ain't good. And now attention's turned to January window. I mean, as I say, when we need him, he ain't here, but he will be back. What we need to do is find some cover this January window. I think we would have needed to go at the January window anyway. My worry around Wilson and Isak picking up injuries and not having another striker is already something that I think we should be looking to address this January window. Willock coming back from an injury. Joe Linton's been out as well. Tonali's no longer available. I think that midfield position is something we need to do. And Calvin Phillips is being linked again. I think he'll be linked every day until the cows come home, you know. But is that a good one on a loan till the end of the season? And it's an extra body in the door who does have Premier League experience. Hasn't worked at Man City, but it's not to say that he's a bad player. I just think sometimes certain players don't suit certain teams, and I think Phillips maybe is a one where he just hasn't really fitted into that Man City lineup. So let me know your thoughts on Sandro Tonali. Let me know your thoughts on the 10-month ban. Let me know your thoughts on him actually being able to train with Eddie Howe behind the scenes for all this time. You let me know what you think going into a January window. I think Newcastle have got some work to do. All right, guys, thanks for watching as always. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Loads of Dortmund content from last night. I've still got some more to post later on today, so look out for that. And I will be at Wolves this weekend as well, so fingers crossed Newcastle can turn this round pretty quick from a tough loss and a loss of Tonali into a win this weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.